Welcome back, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Today we're diving into a tiny US dime with a massive secret. The top Roosevelt dime that many people spend without a second thought. What if I told you this ordinary-looking coin could hide rare mint errors, shocking value, and a story powerful enough to change everything? Don't blink, don't scroll, and don't spend your change, because the coin you're about to see could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's uncover the truth hiding in plain sight. Let's get started. First up in the story of the 1984 United States dime is often wrapped in mystery, exaggeration, and viral claims of unimaginable wealth, but when told correctly, it becomes even more fascinating. This coin belongs to the long-running Roosevelt Dime series, introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, whose leadership during the Great Depression and World War II reshaped the nation forever. Roosevelt's portrait faces left, with a calm yet determined expression, surrounded by the powerful inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," phrases that embody the American spirit. Although the year 1984 is not officially part of the U.S. bicentennial era, collectors often mistakenly connect it to bicentennial mythology because of the massive number of rare era rumors tied to modern coinage. The 1984 dime features one of the most symbolic designs in U.S. coin history. At the center stands a torch, representing liberty and enlightenment, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch representing strength and victory. Above the torch appears the timeless motto, E Pluribus Unum, while the surrounding legend reads, United States of America, and one dime. This design is often confused with older eagle reverses, but its symbolism is deeply intentional, reflecting America's balance between peace, power, and freedom. Even in such a small coin, the message is enormous. The 1984 Mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, is especially important because Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of dimes that year. Under normal circumstances, this would make the coin common and inexpensive. However, coin collecting is not about what is ordinary. It is about what went wrong, what escaped detection, and what survived against the odds. This is where the 1984 dime transforms from pocket change into a potential treasure. Certain examples display dramatic mint errors that can elevate their value from a few cents to thousands, and in extreme cases, far beyond that. Among the most valuable 1984 dimes are those with major striking errors, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and double strikes. Even more desirable are dramatic die errors, including doubled dies where lettering or Roosevelt's profile appears visibly duplicated. These errors are not created after the coin leaves the mint. They are born during the striking process itself, making them authentic mistakes frozen in metal. The rarer and more visually shocking the error, the higher collectors are willing to pay. Condition is another powerful factor that separates ordinary coins from elite collectibles. A circulated 1984 dime may be worth only face value, but a high-grade uncirculated example, especially one graded MS 67 or higher, becomes a completely different story. These coins show razor-sharp details, blazing luster, and almost no contact marks. Because dimes are small and easily damaged, finding one from 1984 in pristine condition is far more difficult than many people realize, which dramatically increases demand among serious collectors. The most legendary examples combine rarity, error, and condition into a single coin. A sharply struck 1984 dime with a bold double die, flawless surfaces, and professional certification can command astonishing prices at auction. While claims of millions are often exaggerated, documented sales in the thousands to tens of thousands of dollars are very real for exceptional pieces. These are not fantasies. They are the result of collector competition, scarcity, and historical interest colliding at the highest level. What makes stories like this spread so fast is the idea that hidden wealth might already be sitting in your pocket, your coin jar, or an old drawer. That possibility is what fuels coin roll hunting and modern numismatics. The 1984 dime represents hope, the hope that an overlooked coin, ignored for decades, could suddenly rewrite its destiny. Every collector dreams of finding that one coin no one else noticed, and this dime keeps that dream alive. It is also important to understand that authentication and grading are critical. A coin's true value is only recognized once it has been examined by experts and sealed in a professional holder. Without certification, even a genuine rarity may be dismissed or undervalued. Knowledge, patience, and careful inspection are what separate lucky finds from missed opportunities. The tiniest detail, spacing between letters, thickness of numbers, or unusual texture, can mean the difference between 10 cents and a life-changing sum. Despite the exaggerations surrounding overnight billionaires, the real power of the 1984 P dime lies in its reminder that history, art, and value often hide in plain sight. This coin is not just metal, it is a silent witness to American culture, economic shifts, and the evolution of minting technology. When an error appears, it turns that witness into a one-of-a-kind artifact, something no mint intended, and no one can ever reproduce again. So before you dismiss a dime dated 1984, take a closer look. Examine Roosevelt's portrait, study the inscriptions, inspect the torch and branches, and search for anything unusual. Do not spend blindly, because while most will be ordinary, a rare few could be extraordinary. In the world of coin collecting, fortunes are not found by looking at price tags, but by looking closely. Beyond value and rarity, the emotional power of discovering a rare 1984 P. Roosevelt dime cannot be overstated. Imagine holding a coin that once passed unnoticed through countless hands, never revealing its secret until someone finally paused and truly looked. That moment of realization, when a collector notices unusual doubling, an off-center strike, or an abnormal surface texture, is pure adrenaline. It transforms a simple 10-cent piece into a historical anomaly, a survivor of a split-second minting mistake that escaped quality control. This emotional one is why collectors become deeply attached to such coins, often refusing to sell them even when substantial offers are made. The market for rare modern U.S. coins continues to grow as new generations of collectors enter the hobby, driven by online communities, auctions, and social media discoveries. Coins like the 1984 P dime have gained renewed attention because they remind people that rarity does not always come from extreme age. Instead, rarity comes from circumstance, unexpected errors, limited survival in high condition, and overlooked varieties hiding in plain sight. As demand rises and certified populations remain small, competition intensifies, pushing prices higher over time. What seems ordinary today may become highly desirable tomorrow as collectors race to secure the finest known examples. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime stands as a symbol of possibility. It proves that numismatics is not only about ancient gold or century-old silver, but also about curiosity, patience, and the willingness to question what others ignore. Every coin tells a story, but only a few tell stories powerful enough to change lives. Whether discovered in a pocket, a forgotten jar, or an inherited collection, the right 1984 P dime has the potential to captivate collectors worldwide. In a hobby where knowledge creates opportunity, this humble dime reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones we almost spend. Next up in the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that sparks curiosity, excitement, and sometimes wild rumors in the world of coin collecting. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary everyday dime, the kind millions of people have held in their hands without a second thought. Yet the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left with a calm but determined expression, instantly connects the coin to one of the most powerful figures in American history. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and his presence on the dime gives the coin a sense of dignity, resilience, and historical weight that goes far beyond its small size and 10-cent face value. The design elements are simple yet deeply symbolic. The word liberty curves gracefully along the edge, representing the foundational ideal of the United States, while the motto "In God We Trust" reflects the nation's spiritual and moral aspirations during the Cold War era in which this coin was produced. The 1979 date, paired with the D mint mark for Denver, places this coin firmly in a time when America was experiencing economic challenges, inflation, and major global shifts. These historical circumstances add an invisible layer of meaning that collectors often value just as much as metal or condition. The familiar torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch becomes the heart of the dime's message. The torch symbolizes liberty and enlightenment, the olive branch stands for peace, and the oak branch represents strength and endurance. Together, these symbols tell a powerful story about American ideals, carefully framed by the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the face value 1 dime. Even though the eagle and arrows imagery is often associated with other U.S. coins, The Roosevelt Dime's reverse still carries a strong patriotic presence that resonates with collectors who appreciate symbolism and national identity. Many people are drawn to the idea that certain 1979 D-dimes could be incredibly rare or even life-changing in value, and this is where reality and imagination often collide. In normal circulated condition, most 1979 D-dimes are common and worth only their face value. Millions were minted, and the coin was intended for everyday use. However, the world of coin collecting is not driven by normal examples. It is driven by the unusual, the flawed, and the exceptional. This is where the excitement truly begins. The real potential value of a 1979 D. Roosevelt dime lies in mint errors and extraordinary conditions. Coins struck off-center, with doubled dies, missing mint marks, weak strikes, or unusual planchet errors can attract serious collector attention. A dime with dramatic doubling on the lettering or Roosevelt's profile, or one struck on the wrong metal, can suddenly transform from pocket change into a highly sought-after collectible. While claims of millions of dollars are often exaggerated, certain error coins can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially when authenticated and preserved in top condition. Another factor that can elevate the value of a 1979 D-dime is its grade. Coins that were never circulated and remain in pristine, mint-state condition can command significantly higher prices than worn examples. Collectors look closely at surface quality, sharpness of details, and original luster. A flawless dime with strong strikes and no visible damage becomes far more desirable, particularly to those building complete date and mint collections of Roosevelt dimes. Stories about bicentennial fortunes tied to coins like the 1979 D-dime often stem from a broader fascination with rare U.S. coins and misunderstood terminology. While 1979 is not an official bicentennial year, many collectors loosely use the term to describe coins connected to America's legacy and history. This misunderstanding fuels viral rumors and dramatic headlines, but experienced collectors know that true value comes from verified rarity, documented errors, and strong collector demand, not just age or patriotic design. The 1979 D-dime fascinating is not just money, but the hunt. Searching through rolls of dimes, examining small details under magnification, and discovering something unusual creates a thrill that money alone cannot replace. For many collectors, the dream isn't just instant wealth, but the possibility of uncovering a hidden treasure overlooked by millions of others. That sense of discovery is what keeps people passionate about coins year after year. The 1979 D. Roosevelt dimes. The smartest move is to examine them carefully rather than spending them without thought. Look for oddities, check the strike quality, and pay attention to anything that looks different from a normal dime. Even if your coin never turns out to be a high-value rarity, it still carries history, symbolism, and a story of American craftsmanship. In the end, the real fortune may not always be measured in dollars, but in knowledge, excitement, and the timeless connection between the past and the present that only a small coin can hold. The 1979 D. Roosevelt dime represents a powerful moment in modern American coinage, when functionality and symbolism were carefully balanced. By this time, silver had long been removed from circulating dimes, and the copper-nickel composition reflected changing economic realities and the rising cost of precious metals. Even so, the coin retained a strong visual identity, proving that value in numismatics is not only about metal content, but about story, condition, and rarity. For collectors, this era marks a transition point, making well-preserved examples even more intriguing as survivors of heavy circulation. Another reason the 1979 D-dime captures attention is the sheer number of myths surrounding it. Social media and word-of-mouth stories often exaggerate prices, claiming overnight riches and unbelievable auction results. While such tales should be approached with caution, they also highlight how deeply people are fascinated by the idea that ordinary money can hide extraordinary worth. This fascination drives new collectors into the hobby, encouraging them to learn, research, and develop an eye for detail, skills that are essential for identifying genuine rarities among common coins. Professional authentication plays a crucial role when a coin appears unusual or promising. A dime that seems valuable must be carefully examined, graded, and verified to confirm its authenticity and characteristics. Scratches, cleaning marks, or artificial alterations can significantly reduce value, while originality and untouched surfaces are highly prized. This process separates genuine treasures from hopeful guesses, reinforcing the idea that patience and knowledge are just as important as luck in the world of rare coins. The lasting appeal of the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime lies in its ability to connect everyday life with history and possibility. It reminds people that even the smallest objects can carry powerful meaning and hidden potential. Whether kept as part of a collection, studied for errors, or simply admired for its design, this dime symbolizes curiosity, perseverance, and the enduring dream that something ordinary today could become extraordinary tomorrow. That the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime. Many begin to appreciate how small variations can create big excitement. Differences in strike pressure, die wear, or alignment can subtly change the appearance of a coin, turning a routine mint product into a conversation piece. These tiny details often go unnoticed by the public, yet they are exactly what seasoned collectors search for. This deep level of inspection transforms coin collecting from a casual hobby into a serious pursuit filled with anticipation and discovery. The emotional value of such coins should not be underestimated. Holding a dime that has passed through countless hands over decades creates a sense of connection to everyday American life. Each mark or slight imperfection can represent a journey through time, used in shops, carried in pockets, and saved in jars. For many enthusiasts, this human history adds meaning beyond market price, making the coin feel like a personal link to the past rather than just an object of trade. The 1979 D-dimes serve as a gateway for new collectors. They are accessible, familiar, and easy to find, yet they open the door to learning about minting processes, historical context, and the thrill of the hunt. Even if a particular coin never reaches legendary value, the knowledge gained and passion sparked often become the true reward, inspiring collectors to keep searching for the next hidden treasure. Next up in the 1966 United States, one dime occupies a fascinating and often misunderstood place in American numismatic history, and that mystery is exactly what fuels the excitement surrounding it. Struck during a turbulent era of change, this coin carries the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, a design that honors one of the most influential presidents in U.S. history. Roosevelt's image, paired with the powerful inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," gives the coin a timeless authority, reminding collectors that every small piece of metal can represent an entire chapter of national resilience, leadership, and hope. What makes the 1966 dime especially intriguing is the period in which it was minted. This was a transitional moment for American coinage, following the removal of silver from circulating dimes just a year earlier. As a result, the 1966 dime exists at the crossroads between old-world precious metal coinage and modern clad issues. That historical tension alone makes it desirable, because collectors are drawn to coins that symbolize a turning point. These dimes were produced without mint marks, adding another layer of intrigue and making identification feel almost like uncovering a secret hidden in plain sight. The reverse design of the Roosevelt dime is deeply symbolic and often sparks passionate discussion among collectors. At its center stands the torch, a bold emblem of liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength and endurance. Above and around these elements appears the powerful national motto, E Pluribus Unum, along with United States of America and the denomination one dime. Every element works together to tell a story of unity, sacrifice, and national pride, turning this small coin into a miniature monument. While many people casually dismiss a 1966 dime as common pocket change, serious collectors know that condition is everything. Most examples were heavily circulated, used daily by millions of Americans who had no idea these coins would one day be closely examined under magnification. Finding a 1966 dime with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal wear is surprisingly difficult. Coins that survive in exceptionally high grades stand out dramatically, and those elite examples can command astonishing prices compared to their everyday counterparts. The true magic happens when rarity meets imperfection. Error coins from 1966 are among the most exciting discoveries in the dime series. Off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, and other dramatic minting mistakes transform an ordinary dime into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. These errors are accidental works of art, created in a split second at the mint and never intended to exist. Because they are unique or extremely scarce, collectors are often willing to pay staggering amounts to own them. Stories of valuable 1966 dimes have fueled legends within the coin-collecting community. Tales circulate of rare examples pulled from old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited collections, suddenly revealing values that far exceed expectations. While not every 1966 dime is worth a fortune, the possibility that one extraordinary piece could be hiding among common coins keeps collectors searching. This sense of treasure hunting is what makes numismatics so addictive and thrilling. It is important to understand that claims of millions of dollars are usually tied to the most extreme scenarios: flawless condition, extraordinary errors, or unique historical significance. A typical circulated 1966 dime is modest in value, but a pristine specimen or dramatic error can elevate it into a completely different league. The gap between ordinary and extraordinary in coin collecting is vast, and the 1966 dime sits right on that edge, waiting to surprise the right person. Emotion plays a powerful role in the appeal of this coin. Holding a 1966 dime means holding an object that passed through countless hands during a transformative decade in American history. It witnessed social change, economic shifts, and a nation redefining itself. That emotional weight, combined with the hunt for rarity and value, turns this dime into more than money. It becomes a tangible connection to the past. The 1966 Roosevelt dime is a reminder never to judge a coin by face value alone. Every detail matters. The sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, the clarity of the torch's flame, the strength of the lettering, and even the coin's edge. Under the right circumstances, these details can mean the difference between a coin worth cents and one worth thousands. Knowledge, patience, and careful observation are the keys that unlock those hidden rewards. In the end, the story of the 1966 United States one dime is a story of possibility. It teaches that extraordinary value can hide within ordinary objects, and that history, artistry, and rarity can combine to create something truly remarkable. If you come across old U.S. dimes, especially from the 1960s, don't rush to spend them. Take a closer look, because one small coin could carry a story and a value that might just change everything. The 1966 Roosevelt dime continues to captivate collectors because it represents a moment when the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to keep coins flowing into circulation. Demand for small change was exploding, and quality control sometimes took a back seat to quantity. This environment created subtle variations in strike strength, planchet preparation, and overall finish. These differences are nearly invisible to the untrained eye, yet they can dramatically affect desirability and value when identified by experienced collectors. Another powerful factor driving interest in the 1966 dime is the psychology of scarcity. Even though millions were struck, time has not been kind to most examples. Decades of circulation have erased fine details, leaving only a small surviving population with crisp features and original mint luster. As collectors compete for these top-tier survivors, prices rise steadily. The result is a coin that feels common at first glance, yet becomes surprisingly elusive when searching for truly exceptional specimens. The market appeal of the 1966 dime is also strengthened by its accessibility. Unlike gold or early silver coins that require large investments, this dime invites beginners into the world of serious collecting. Many advanced collectors began their journey by discovering an unusual Roosevelt dime and learning its story. That emotional entry point fuels long-term demand, ensuring that standout examples remain highly sought after across generations. The 1966 Roosevelt dime proves that value is not always about age or precious metal alone. It is about context, survival, and the stories a coin carries forward through time. Each high-grade or error example stands as a survivor of history, preserved against the odds. For those willing to look closely and learn deeply, this humble dime holds the promise of discovery, excitement, and the enduring thrill of uncovering hidden treasure in plain sight. The 1966 Roosevelt dime is how easily it can be overlooked by the general public, which only adds to its mystique among collectors. Because it lacks a mint mark and is often mistaken for an ordinary modern dime, many examples pass through hands without a second glance. This widespread underestimation creates the perfect conditions for hidden treasures to remain undiscovered, waiting for someone with curiosity and knowledge to recognize their potential importance. Collectors also pay close attention to surface quality on 1966 dimes, as this is where true value often reveals itself. Original mint luster, clean fields, and sharply defined design elements elevate a coin into a higher tier of collectability. Even subtle differences in texture or reflectivity can signal a superior strike or an unusually well-preserved example. These small details transform the coin from a simple relic of commerce into a prized numismatic artifact. The excitement surrounding the 1966 dime is fueled by the unpredictable nature of discovery. Unlike coins that are already known to be rare, this issue offers the thrill of possibility. A roll of old dimes, a family heirloom, or a forgotten container of change could hold an exceptional piece. This uncertainty keeps collectors searching relentlessly, driven by the hope that the next find could be something extraordinary. The 1966 Roosevelt dime has earned a reputation as a sleeper coin, one that does not loudly announce its value but quietly builds intrigue. As more collectors become educated and demand for high-quality examples increases, interest continues to grow. This slow-burning appeal ensures that the coin remains relevant, desirable, and emotionally powerful, reminding everyone that even the smallest denomination can carry outsized significance and lasting fascination. Next up in the 1970 United States one dime, often referred to by collectors as a bicentennial rare coin, is not just a piece of currency. It is a portal into American history, a symbol of artistry, and for those who understand its rarity, a treasure that could change fortunes. At first glance, the coin features the familiar portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, facing left. This image, which has graced dimes since 1946, serves as a tribute to Roosevelt's enduring legacy, from his leadership through the Great Depression to his role in steering America through World War II. Yet, what sets the 1970 dime apart is not merely the portrait. It is the combination of design, symbolism, and historical significance that makes it a jewel for collectors worldwide. The obverse of the coin is stamped with the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that resonates deeply with the American spirit and reflects the nation's values during Roosevelt's era. Surrounding this, the word liberty boldly encircles the coin, asserting a timeless reminder of the freedoms and rights that are foundational to the United States. This lettering is more than decorative. It is a mark of authenticity and historical identity, a subtle echo of the nation's unwavering commitment to liberty. For collectors, these inscriptions are not just words. They are hallmarks of a coin that carries with it the weight of history. Turning the coin over, the reverse is a masterpiece of symbolism and intricate design. A powerful eagle, wings fully spread, stands atop a shaft of arrows, symbolizing both strength and readiness to defend the nation. Below the eagle, a wreath made of 2 olive branches wraps delicately, representing peace and unity. This duality, strength paired with peace, is emblematic of America's vision during the 1970s, a period marked by both Cold War tensions and aspirations for societal progress. The artistry is meticulous, each feather and leaf sculpted with precision, reflecting the craftsmanship that makes this coin so desirable among numismatists. Adding to the coin's allure is the combination of the face value and the inscriptions E pluribus unum and United States of America. This phrase, meaning out of many one, captures the very essence of the American experiment, a union of diverse states and people under a single cohesive nation. The coin also features symbolic imagery of an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, representing peace, liberty, and victory respectively. Together, these elements tell a story far larger than the coin's modest 1-cent value. They capture the ideals of a nation striving for balance, freedom, and triumph. The 1970 dime is not merely a collector's item. It is a rare treasure in the truest sense. Unlike coins minted in large quantities, certain variations of the 1970 dime, particularly those with unique minting errors, exceptional preservation, or limited circulation, have become highly sought after. These rare dimes can fetch extraordinary sums at auctions and in private sales. Collectors often describe owning one as holding a piece of history in their hands, a tangible connection to a time when America celebrated resilience and progress in the wake of tumultuous decades. What makes this coin even more fascinating is its potential market value. While a standard circulated 1970 dime may hold modest value, rare specimens in pristine condition or with unique mint errors can command prices that rival modern luxury investments. It's not just the silver content or the face value that matters. It is the story, the rarity, and the artistry that drive its worth. For the astute collector, Even one of these dimes could serve as a gateway to building an impressive and lucrative numismatic portfolio, potentially turning modest investments into substantial financial gain over time. The thrill of owning a 1970 bicentennial dime lies not just in its monetary value, but in the excitement of discovery. Imagine sifting through a stack of old coins, only to find a mint-condition piece from 1970, with every detail sharp and every inscription clear. The adrenaline of realizing you've stumbled upon a coin worth thousands, or even millions, cannot be overstated. This is why collectors often spend years hunting for such treasures, studying mint records, examining every detail, and learning to identify the subtle differences that distinguish a common dime from a rare masterpiece. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to the 1970 dime not only for its rarity, but for the story it represents. Each coin is a snapshot of an era, a reflection of America's pride and resilience. It is a reminder of Roosevelt's enduring influence, of the nation's struggles and victories, and of the artistry that goes into creating coins meant to last centuries. These dimes are more than currency. They are miniature monuments, historical artifacts, and symbols of aspiration. Holding one is akin to holding a piece of America's soul, a tangible link between past and present. For those fortunate enough to own these coins, the advice is simple but crucial. Do not spend them. A single 1970 bicentennial dime, particularly in exceptional condition, could be worth far more than a lifetime of ordinary savings. Some of the rarest coins have been known to sell for astonishing sums, sometimes reaching into the millions, depending on condition, provenance, and demand. In today's market, where historical artifacts are increasingly sought after, these coins can transform from humble currency into generational wealth, offering both prestige and financial security to those who recognize their value. The 1970 United States one dime is far more than a small piece of metal. It is a treasure steeped in history, artistry, and national pride. Its design tells a story of strength, peace, liberty, and victory, while its rarity and condition create an allure that captivates collectors worldwide. Owning one is a privilege, a connection to America's past, and for those who understand its significance, a potential doorway to wealth. If you ever encounter one of these dimes, handle it with care, cherish its history, and recognize that you are holding a coin that is both timeless and priceless, a true testament to the enduring legacy of the United States. The 1970 dime also represents the thrill of rarity in the coin collecting world. Not every coin minted in 1970 holds the same allure. Subtle differences in the strike, variations from different mints, and even minor errors can elevate a dime from ordinary to extraordinary. Collectors often search for these anomalies with the precision of detectives, examining every line, curve, and letter under magnification. It is these nuances that turn a coin into a sought-after treasure, a piece that can spark fierce competition among collectors and command top-dollar bids at auctions. The tactile experience of holding a rare 1970 dime is equally mesmerizing. Unlike digital assets or paper money, a coin is a physical connection to the past. The cool metal, the intricate engravings, the way light plays off the detailed eagle and Roosevelt's portrait, all create a sensory link to history. For numismatists, this is a daily reminder of the craftsmanship and care that went into producing coins in an era long before digital design and mass production dominated. Each coin tells a story, and the more rare the dime, the more profound the story it carries. Market trends in rare coins further amplify the 1970 dime's importance. In recent decades, collectors and investors have increasingly recognized that rare coins are not only culturally and historically significant, but also financially strategic. A well-preserved 1970 dime can appreciate dramatically over time, especially as older coins become scarcer and demand rises among enthusiasts, museums, and private collectors. Its value is enhanced by provenance, the story of its ownership, the era it survived, and the care it has received. The combination of rarity, condition, and historical importance makes it one of the most alluring coins in the American numismatic landscape. The 1970 dime is more than an investment. It is a symbol of legacy. Those who own one are not merely collectors. They are custodians of history, guardians of America's heritage. Passing such a coin to the next generation carries with it not just financial value, but also a story, a connection to the past, and a tangible piece of the nation's identity. It is a reminder that sometimes the smallest objects, mere 10-cent coins, can hold immeasurable worth, capable of transforming the lives of those who recognize their true significance. For anyone fortunate enough to encounter one of these rare dimes, it is both an honor and an opportunity. An opportunity to preserve history, to marvel at artistry, and perhaps to secure a fortune for the future.